So let's come to this portion where we have instance. Actually everything got created. Okay, so now see this instance type. Right now it is taking t2.micro, right? I have not defined here. Okay, I have not defined any default value here, nothing. From where it is taking? So it is taking from Terraform.tf file, which is default file. By default, it is not taking from t2.medium, right? It is not taking t2.medium. Okay, so if we want this file to be used, which is our customized file, so in real time when you will be writing your Terraform configuration, you will create different files for values for your variable, and to make it understandable to other guys who is referring your document, or even you, if you have multiple variables. So for VPC you will create one file, there you will have the values. For instances you will have another variable file. For database you will have another variable file, right? That will make it easy for you to maintain everything instead of defining everything in Terraform.tf file. So if you have to make any changes, you will have to traverse through the whole file, and then you will have to make change. So for easily accessibility, we define different files, okay, with the variables, with the values for the different variables. So for VPC we create vpc.tf file, for EC2 ec2.tf file, and all those things. Okay, so by default it is not getting loaded. Okay, if it was getting loaded, we would not have t2.micro, it would be t2.medium, right? But it is currently not taking. So if you want your customized file to be used, the value whatever in that file that you want to be used, so rename this file. So there are two ways. So first way I am explaining you, rename this file to instance type .auto.tf. Okay, let me expand it. Instance type .auto.tf. Now if you will do Terraform plan again, so this time you can see that now let it complete. Then you will see that it is using t2.medium. Okay, let me show you. So this thing is very, very important. Okay, these concepts, they can ask you for the precedence and all, what is auto in variable files and all. So you can see that now it is taking t2.medium. Good. Now suppose, okay, if you are not giving the auto here, okay, if you are not giving auto and you want to make use of this particular file, then you will have to pass it with the argument -var -file. Okay, how can you do it? So this is the first document is book. It's not in there. Okay, so -var -file, and how can we pass the file so that I can show you here. Yeah, so this way. Okay, this way. So now I have removed the auto. Now again try Terraform apply, and this time we will be passing in this way as an argument. So this time also you will see that it is taking the value from this particular file. For copying, I clicked on rename. I am not renaming it. Okay, you can see that it is same as it was previously. Okay, so now, sorry, I did apply interrupt received. Okay, so I did Control-C because I didn't want to apply it. I just want to show you that how the values for variable working. So Terraform plan, And now I do not have dot auto here, but I am passing it as a command line argument while doing plan or apply. Okay. And now if you will check, okay, so now again it is taking T2.medium, even it is not auto. So either you can put here dot auto so that Terraform will automatically take it from this particular file, or you can pass as a command line argument. Fine. Is this clear, guys? Guys, is this thing clear? My goodness. Kiran, Naresh, Reshma, Shiva, is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Gaurav.
So please speak up, guys. I think like I am being ghosted. Okay. Another way is passing the variable is through the -var. Okay. So you can pass the as argument -var and then in this form. So suppose, let me copy. Okay. So this time if I am taking instance type, value for this variable as t2.xlarge, and then see what is the plan giving output. So I made some mistake. -var. Sorry. It should not be the space. Okay, so this time you can see the difference. So t2.extra large. So now you would have understood the precedence. So if you are passing through command line arguments, it has the highest precedence, then the customized file, whatever you are giving. Okay. So instance type dot auto dot tfvars if you are giving, so that will have the precedence, second highest precedence. Third highest precedence will be for the terraform.tfvars file. And then the in last, that is environment variable. Okay, environment variable means, suppose if you are if you are providing as export instance type equals to t2.large, okay, and then you are doing Terraform plan. So generally I have never done it using the environment variable, and it has the lowest precedence in the precedence order. Okay, so you have so many ways to defining the values of for your variable, passing the values for your variable. Okay, is this concept clear, guys? How to define the variable block, what all argument we pass in the variable block, how many files, how many ways we can pass the value for variable. All these things are clear, right?
Hi. Please take a few seconds to like this video, ask your doubts or questions in the comments. Our trainers will answer it. Your response helps us to post more videos on this topic. More likes we get, more videos we can post. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
In today's session, would it be possible for you to show us how do you commit from VS Code to Git? I mean, there are so many options available. It's little confusing.
Fine. So, so we have understood what's the variable block, or how do we define a variable, what is the type, and then description, What can be the default value? Okay, if you want to pass a default value, so that too you can pass. If there is no value available anywhere, it will take the default value. Okay, for that purpose it is being used. Fine. Everything is clear. You need to practice it. Now we will be looking into this particular thing that I explained you in the beginning, that we can create if we have to repeat same block again and again. So we can make use of dynamic block for defining that thing. Instead of repeating yourself again and again, you can make use of dynamic block. So syntax is something like this. There is no hard and fast rule. You can use it. Okay. Fine. So we are doing it for ingress. So ingress we will put here. Then in variable, you can define a variable as I defined there, and we will make use of that. So everywhere, okay, so we need to first change this because this is related to security group. So here it will be, arguments will be different. So let's take the argument. What all argument we have? Okay. From port to port protocol cider blocks. So we are not hard coding the value now. We are taking it from the variable. Okay, cool. Description is one more thing which is available there. Description. Fine. Now define the term to define the variable. So I already defined it. So I was saying that if we are taking only object, so it can be used for one object, but for loop will iterate for 80 and 22. So we need a sequential data. So for that purpose, what we can do, we can either take list or map. So list would be better in this particular scenario. Okay, you can. So in this example, I am showing you to pass default value because I have already shown you like how can you pass the value from terraform.tf file or customized file or from command line. Okay, if you want to use default value, so how can you do it? So this is the way. So default value, so this is list of objects. So cider block is our 0.0.0.0/0. Description is opening port 22 for SSH. Fine. From port will be 22. Protocol will be TCP and to port will be 20. So list of data, one data, and we will have another set of data for port 80, right? So cider block 0 opening port 80 for HTTP 80. Okay, we are good. So we are good. Now how can you reference the value? So description, you will go ingress, whatever the variable name, dot values dot whatever, like we want to get the description, right? So description, okay, because this is not single data, right? It is list of object data. So there are multiple variables, right, in this particular block. So we need to specify here this description is which variable from here. So this is the way. Okay, this is the way you can define. So ingress value for from port, so this value will be taking from this from port. So value dot from port. Here it will be 2 port. This value is coming from this 2 port. Then the protocol. For protocol also we have this same variable. The protocol. And then ingress dot values dot cider blocks. Cider block. It is cider block, not the blocks. The cider block. Fine. We have made the changes. Any doubt from this? Guys, any doubt from this particular section? No doubt. Good. There is a problem. It is saying argument line 70 column 1. 70 column. Egress. Okay, I'm sorry. Now it's fine. Oh, this dynamic ingress, I had to put in this public, because in public we have 2 ports. I mistakenly put it into this particular private. Fine, this is good. Let me write here the ingress rule. Give me a second, guys. I need some mistake. TLS 22, 32, cider block, no. PC. This is why we need to create different thing in different files. In one file, this kind of mistake, instead of making changes there, I made changes in this particular private security there. VPC security group. Yes, this one. Allow TLS public. Fine. So what I was doing I made changes in allow TLS private, but if you remember, in private subnet, we have only port, like for our application server, we have only the port 22 open, and that too, that can be communicated from this public web application server only. Okay. But by mistake, I made this dynamic block in this particular private security group. So I moved it to this public and made the changes accordingly, which we already had in place. Okay. Let's do Terraform FMT. Terraform validate. Let's see if we have any error. Yeah. An argument is not expected here. Okay. No, sorry. Why did I put secure? It should be security groups. AWS security group dot allow TLS public dot ID and okay, cool. Let me cross check if this is Terraform plan. Okay, so a managed resource ingress values has not been declared in the root module. Okay, so ingress dot values, it is not taking. So syntactically, I have made some mistake. We will have to double check. Where we can check. So dynamic block here. So setting dot value, right? I put somehow values. It should be value. Fine. And another thing, it is referring to this setting. It is not referring to the variable settings, but it is referring to this setting. Okay, so that is another mistake. So ingress. Control S, go Terraform plan. Okay, so it's fine. We are good now. Fine. So this is about dynamic block and about the variable. Okay, so variable also we understood. We created two variables today. One is instance type, one is ingress. And this ingress we are making use of in this particular dynamic block. So when we make use of dynamic block, so suppose if we have to repeat same kind of thing again and again, okay, so that in that case you can make use of dynamic block so that you do not have to repeat yourself again and again. Okay, like if you remember previously when we were creating AWS security group, so that time we were writing multiple ingress rule for different ports. But now I am making use of dynamic block. So this is the syntax of defining it. So dynamic is the keyword for dynamic block. Then whatever is the argument. So ingress is the argument, right? Ingress is the argument for inbound. To show you. We have discussed it multiple times, but to show you again, I am showing this. So if you can see here, so ingress is the block, okay, argument block. So this is something, so that you can pass with the dynamic block. And then this for each, this is the syntax. You will have to use for each because you have to iterate. Okay, so for 22 you have to create rules, for 88 you have to create inbound rules. So there are two values. So for sequential data, if you have to perform iteration, so for each the meta argument available in Terraform that we know, we are aware of, so we can make use of that. So here we are passing as variable. So I have defined a variable here with the name ingress, and here I am passing list of objects because objects is a data type which can have multiple key values within it. Okay, so like in this case, we required description from port to port, protocol, CIDR block. So instead of writing variables for all, we can define it in one block only using the data type object. Giving list before this because we need to do it for multiple elements, right? For 22, for 80, so for sequential data. So that's why using list. Okay, now retrieving the value for these variables for description from port to port, protocol and CIDR block. This is the way. Okay, this is the defined way that you can make use of, either in this way or in this way. Both are correct. Okay, either this way or this way, using dot or using square brackets. Okay, any doubt from this, guys? Any doubt from dynamic block? No doubt, right?
Gaurav, now the port is 22 is open. So if you
Yeah.
want to go ahead with 22, 80, then so we are defining in TF wheres files itself, right?
Sorry.
So if you want to for ingress roles, so if you want to open port number 80, port number 22, like that, many ports if you want to open. So dynamic block it is written. So in the TF wheres files itself, we need to write that, right?
Value.
All the values, whatever.
Yes,
the
you can write here, or you can define your own file as I told you, and there also you can pass the values. But to make you understand about the default block, I have defined here. Okay, but you can put same thing. You can put this data in terraform.tf vars file also. Okay, so what is the variable name? So variable name is ingress. So ingress, that is our name. Ingress equals to fine. So this is all. This is what you can here also in this part also, if you do not want to pass it as a default. So default value is the value if Terraform doesn't get value for a variable from anywhere, then it takes the default value. Okay, is it clear?
Okay, Gaurav. Yes.
Okay, cool. So dynamic block is also one important concept. So please watch this video, practice it, and you will be good to go. It is not anything which is difficult. First time it will looks like difficult to me also. Okay, first time when we do anything, we find it difficult, but later on you will find it easy. Okay, so description, I am getting some error. This kind of definition, a reference to a resource that must be followed by at least one attribute access specifying the resource name. Okay, so if I am, so yeah, so this is the way, right? So that's what I did. Okay, sorry, I missed this particular thing. So it is very important to define everything in the manner how it is defined in the document. Okay, quotes and all matters a lot. Okay, so these are two ways of accessing, either through the dot you can refer or through the square bracket. Okay, both are same. Fine. Are we good, guys?